Did you guys have a good weekend? I had a good weekend. Hope you guys had a good weekend. What's going on? It is 1 p.m. here in Crystal Lake, Illinois. It's time for another live stream. Today is Monday, June 17th, 2024. And today we've got a bunch of shoes to unbox, 3 different pairs of shoes. I'm pretty sure none of these are under embargo. So I think we're going to get to look at 3 shoes today, and then we'll also get into spreadsheet madness. And then remind me later to see, or let's just do it now. If you are a shoe reviewer and you are a size 10, let me know either in the comments or in the chat. We'll get to that. Let's talk about that later. But all right, let's put these down for a second. And let's say hi to everyone listening on the podcast, on the audio only version. Hopefully you guys are having a good run out there today. It is hot. It is so hot. It's like record setting hot here today. Sorry, for those of you guys listening, I'm trying to fix the camera. I'm off center. It looks funny. I'm not sure what's happening here. So I'm trying to get it all settled in. I thought I had it all taken care of earlier, but I guess I didn't. But here we go. We're going to try it. So anyway, long story short, it's hot out there. Stay hydrated, extra hydrated, and slow down. You're running too fast for this level of heat. You gotta be kinder to yourself. And for everyone else watching this later but not live, you're looking at the number one place that tries very hard to not break embargoes. I don't break embargoes. I don't intentionally break embargoes. I try really hard to not break embargoes. And we're the number one place for that effort. Other places probably do a better job of not breaking embargoes. Maybe. But I try the hardest. I'm just not always that good at it, Effort and performance aren't always correlated. We long distance runners know that, right? All right. So let's see what we got here in the chat. Jen runs triangle wants to know size 10 men's. Yeah, if you're a size 10 men's, let's just start with this. So sometimes brands will send me shoes on accident that are the wrong size 10. I don't know why they do that. I think they do it on accident. I don't think it's intentional. Because sometimes when they're like, we're not sure about the sizing on this one, we're going to size you up, they'll send me a 9.5. So I have a couple pairs of size 10 men's, US men's size 10 shoes that have just been sitting around. And if you're a smaller YouTuber who reviews shoes and you are a size 10 men's, let me know. Because I'd want them to go to someone else. I don't really feel like I can give them away. But if you're a reviewer, I feel like I can. That makes me feel better because then the brand that sent them is still going to get someone to look at this shoe, and usually I get the correct shoe. So I'm still like talking about the shoe and, so that's kind of how I see it. All right. Daniel Burton did a workout today, 6x200 pickups. Nice and cool today in Colorado. Is it cool in Colorado? Oh man. The country's so big. Everyone has such different weather. Alex Gonzalez did a 19-minute threshold run, 7-minute pace with 10-minute warm-up and cool down. That sounds exhausting, Alex. Good job. Grant Reese says, I just got back from my local running store with the Cielo X1s to test on my long run workouts and figure out if it'll be my race day shoe. On Feet and Story, they felt amazing. Comfort and propulsion combo. It is a really fun shoe. I just wish it weren't so heavy. And I think there's a lot of things they could do to fix that, or at least to help that. But it is a fun shoe, I will say. Runner Will's here as well. Says, hello, friends. And Midlife Runner's here for a cowbell. He says, ayo, here for that belated cowbell. 1901 from my first ever 5K race. Amazing. That's so fast. Time to hit some plyos like Coach. I don't know. You're already hitting 1901. Maybe you don't need the plyos. I think plyos will help, but we'll see. I think they'll be good for you. I think they'll be good for me. I feel better about it. I don't feel as fit as I normally do, but I feel fast. But it's just, I guess that's what happens when you do 5K training. So that's where I'm at. All right. Let's see. Mark Peterson says it's Grandma's week. Yeah, Grandma's. I'm really trying to figure out if anyone's doing the grandma's double or the great grandma's. I don't know what they call it, but if they're not calling it a great grandma's, I feel like that's a branding mistake. But Mark said that there's a guy that's been doing it for years. I think I'd like to do it. Maybe next year I'll do a great grandma's. get a bib so I can run it. I'm not abandoning the race, but run up that morning and then run down at the start of the race with everybody else. I feel like that'd be pretty fun. So, but anyone else that's training for grandmas, hope your taper is going well. You're not going too crazy, and hope you're having fun getting ready for the race. How's the weather going to be? Mark, what's the weather going to be like? Ryan Weissman says, hey, everyone, got in on the Puma DV8 Nitro Elite 3 launch this morning on Running Warehouse. My first pair of Pumas incoming. Oh, did they have a launch kind of drop? I thought that she wasn't coming out till July. I know that there was going to be an early drop at some point, though. I'm not sure why, but yeah. Here's the thing. Are we past the point where Pumas are hard to get? Because remember when Pumas used to be really hard to get? Like you could try and buy them, but they were sold out everywhere and no running retail was carrying it. So like you can never find Pumas, even if you wanted them. And then everyone wanted them and no one could get them. Have we fixed that yet? Hopefully they have. All right. Vanessa Martinez says it's hot in Houston and hot and humid in the ATX. Ran 2.5 miles on the treadmill this morning, but had to cut my lunchtime walk short due to the heat. I was dripping with sweat. I can't even imagine trying to do any walking or anything in the middle of the day in Austin right now. It's so hot here. And I feel like it's like dangerous hot here, which I think is normal hot or just normal for Austin. Because you guys do get humidity too, So I can't imagine. You know what's weird today is, so I went on my run this morning and I saw more people, walkers, dog walkers, runners on my run route this morning than I kind of have. I could probably combine that with the last 2, 3, maybe even 4 days combined. And today was like the hottest day so far this summer, 2024 in this area. I think everyone wanted to get it in early today. Maybe all the afternoon walkers were like, we got to move this up. I think that's what happened. Richard Smarts says, though, that greetings from Harker Heights, Texas. Not too bad today. Only 90 degrees at the moment. I don't even think it's 90 degrees right now here. Maybe it's 90 degrees by now here. We're supposed to hit 95, 96. 96 is the record for today. I guess for June, what's today? 17th. We're probably going to get that today. It's hot. And then my daughter has a softball game this evening, and I'm like, oh boy. I don't know about that. I kind of want to get one of those chiller fans. When they have the water attached to the fan, I want to get some. Andrew Escobedo says, though, he's loving the mild weather in Minnesota. It's going to make for a great it's going to make it for a fast grandmas for all who are running. All right. Love to hear that. That's going to be fun. Oh, that's going to be fun. Good job, guys. Let's see what else we got here. Calvin says, so you would run 52 miles in a day for our great grandmas? Yeah, I think it would be a long day. I think that I'd have to probably because you're going uphill. If you're doing it the backwards way, you'd have to start in the middle of the night, for me anyway. Because I'm thinking like, I don't know if I have to run like 4.5 hour pace, 5 hour pace. I think I could do 5 hour pace. So like a 10 total hours of running for 50 miles, 52 miles. Could I do that? I don't know. But then what time does that race start? It starts at like 7:30 in the morning, right? It starts early, I think. So I'd have to start running at like 2 o'clock in the morning. I'd just be running in the dark. Oh, I would hate that. But I don't know. I think it'd be a fun challenge. Ray Martin says, I enjoyed seeing Ed Bud on last week. Been following his YouTube reviews recently. Well, that's awesome. I had a lot of fun having Ed on. I think Ed had a lot of fun being on. I think you guys enjoyed it too. And this week, Thursday, I've invited 40 to come on. So all the Brits in here, I'm going to need some translators in the chat to help me figure out what he's saying, because I only understand like 2/3 of what he's saying. I can figure it out from context, but I think I've had him on the live stream before too, and it was fine. I'm joking a little bit, but he does have that thick accent. But he's going to be on. We'll probably name that shoe again. So I'm going to go through some of his more recent reviews, figure out what he's been reviewing, and take extra close-up pictures of those shoes and have him name it. See if he can. So we'll play that game. So this Thursday, 1 p.m. Central Time, we're going to have 40 on. So that'll be fun. All right. Mark says the forecast is mid-50s at the start and mid-60s at the heat of the day, and rain likely. Ooh, does that mean it's going to be super humid, or is that going to be good? I don't know. All right. And Patrick says, what's going on, Co? I ran a PR in the Queen's 10K this weekend. Nice work, Pat. Ran a negative split, which was a nice surprise. Great work. Great work. Awesome. All right. Ryan Weissman says, for that Puma launch, it was the Olympic Trials colorway, which is supposed to be a limited edition release. The next color's released on July 1. Okay. All right. I still don't have any of those shoes, by the way. I really thought, because everyone got the special box that had two of them in it together, right? And it opened up like a big book. I thought that I was going to have them when I went to the UPS place today for my P.O. box. Didn't arrive. So I didn't make the cut with Puma to look at the Nitro Elite and the Nitro 3. I'll just have to wait until later, I guess. I don't know. Adam says he showed up at the pool at 7 a.m. in the morning and it was closed because the chlorine was way off. That would have brought a smile to your face. It would have, and it wouldn't have. It would have brought a smile to my face if I could have known the night before. But if I made the effort to get to the pool by 7, I want to swim, But, when you try to swim and you don't have to then, and it's not your fault, I feel like that's the universe saying it's okay to not like swimming. All right. Someone's texting me, so I got to put my do not disturb on. Aviles Jose says it's 90 in Puerto Rico. See, I feel like that's bad if Crystal Lake, Illinois is as hot as Puerto Rico. It's not a good sign. Not a good sign. Kevin says, if I were going to do a great grandma's, would I switch shoes? I don't know. Maybe. Probably not. I don't know. I feel like a Super Blast would be great for that. You can just wear that for 10 hours. I feel like they'd get kind of wet, though. That might be the only reason I would switch the shoes, because it's just, if they're soggy, I'm not sure I'm going to want that. All right. Mark says, like, the half marathon starts at 6 and the full is at 7:30. So you'd have to be past this. You'd have to be past the half marathon mark at 6. So I'd have to run. Oh boy. And if the full starts at 7:30, I'd want to be at the start line by like 7, So I'd definitely be past that. Wouldn't the half marathon start wouldn't be a problem, because I'd have to be at the halfway point by like 4:30 in the morning. Yeah, you'd have to start it. I'd have to start at like 2:00 in the morning for that. The more I think about this now, guys, great grandmas sound like a terrible idea. Oh my goodness. All right. Daniel Brent wants to know, Co, when is your next race? My next race is like July 10th or something like that. I signed up for a 5K. It's a local 5K around here. Last year, I think there was maybe 100 people. It was kind of a I think there was a bib pickup on the day before, but most people pick up their bib that morning. It's pretty flat. There were kind of not a lot of turns, but there was some turns. Um, I ran it with my daughter last year, so I wasn't running hard, so I didn't pay too close attention to the course. But I'll have to go back and look at my Strava for the day. But I'll be doing that, and then I'm going to be doing. I haven't signed up for it yet, but I'll be doing a 10K in a couple weeks after that. Mm. David Hammer says we should play the "What Did 40 Say" game. I actually think that'd be pretty fun. Here's what we'll do. So we'll have 40 on Thursday, right? And then I'll have Daniel, who edits clips from the live stream. I'll have Daniel make up a game for us to play later, or for people that didn't watch it to play later, where it'll be like, "What did 40 say?" And I'll have them say 40 will say a sentence, and then the Americans will have to guess what it is in the comments. I actually think it's pretty easy to understand 40. I'm just kidding about it, you know. Grant Reese wants to know, have you heard any news on the Super Blast 2 dates? I have, but I can't say. So it's getting closer because now I know, but I can't tell you. Speaking of that, though, have you guys, what drove me crazy this weekend? Not crazy. I wasn't that mad about it, but I was very confused. And then my confusion turned into a little bit of frustration this morning. So let me know if you guys saw it. Did you guys see, a whole bunch of people got the Tecton X 2.5, and the embargo date must have been somewhat recently, because I saw a bunch of videos about the Tecton X 2.5 come up all around the same time. And I didn't really understand why, because it's like the Tecton X midsole with the Tecton X3 upper, right? I feel like that's what it is. And I was like, why wouldn't they just release the Tecton X3 already? Because I'm like, how many more years are we going to have to wait? How many more races does Jim Walmsley have to win in the Tecton X3 for us to finally get it? Right? But I'm like, all right, it must be a while, or maybe there's been delays, and that's why they're doing this 2.5 business. Kind of like what was it? The Mach 5. There was a Super Mach or something like that. What was that? Does anyone remember that one? Between the 5 and the 6? Or between the 4 and the 5? I don't remember what it was. Supersonic, right? Remember that? There was a delay between the next one. Or I don't know if there was a delay, but they were just spacing them out. So there was another one in between. And then today, I saw a reel by Walmsley. I mean, like, he didn't make it, but it's on his page and he's in it. And Hoka is talking about the Tecton X3. And Walmsley is like, yeah, I've been running in this shoe every day and every race for the last 2 years. And I'm like, it hasn't even been a week since the 2.5 was like released and announced, and now they're talking again about the X3. I just don't understand what's going on. Does anyone know? Yeah. Matthias says, Believe in the Run had the Tectons. I feel like I've seen a couple other places have it too, right? Eric says it's the 3, but just a test release before August. I don't think so. I thought the midsole with the Tecton X 2.5 was different than the midsole in the Tecton X3. I mean, I didn't look too closely at it in case I end up getting it in for review, but I really didn't understand what was happening. So I don't know. I don't know if anyone else saw that or knows anything more about it. And Eric says, I think Walmsley is actually in the, look it up, Tecton 3.5. Here's the thing. We're not there. So there are many Walmsley Tecton X3s, is my understanding. There's one that has like 5 or 6 millimeter lugs that he uses for when it's really gnarly out. And then the other one, which looks more like the one that he has. And I've seen the one that he's worn with the smaller, like the Vibram light base mega grip outsole. they had it on display at TRE. There was like a Hoka after party or a welcome reception or something like that, and they had it out there, and it looked really different than what they then showed me like 2 days later at the Hoka booth, which was gonna be the Tecton X3, and they're like, "It's inspired by Jim Walmsley's Tecton X3." So, like, I don't know what's going on. I just reviewed the Adidas Terex Agravic Speed Ultra, and that's another shoe. I'm like, this shoe's good. It's a little expensive, but I see why it costs what it does. But I don't see why it took 2 years for it to reach the market. Same thing with this Tecton X3. I don't understand what's going on with this, and I really don't understand the Tecton X 2.5, and especially the timing of it either. It makes no sense. Johnny Dodgen says, I think the leap between the 2 and the 3 was so big and the 2 was so popular. I think they decided to keep the 2.5 as an affordable option, with the 3 being the top race shoe. Is it cheaper? Is that what it is? Interesting. Mm. Matt Legrand's here. What's going on, Matt? He says, Yoko, what's going on? Matt just reviewed the Dura from Koros, which I don't really have much use for a cycling computer, but I just thought his battery graphics for that video. You guys got to watch this video. The battery graphics are funny. It's worth the watch just for the battery graphics. It's pretty fun. JC says the Tecton X would have to be plated, wouldn't it? Yes. Although the Mach X, it's also an X shoe, but it's not plated. It does have a P-back plate, quote unquote, but yeah. So some of you have questions about the tech of the Mach Supersonic. Grant says, wow, Mach Supersonic. Never heard of it. Must not have been amazing, right? It was the same Mach 4, I think, or maybe Mach 5, or maybe I don't remember. But it was in between 2 Mach versions. It was the same one, just with a very different upper that made the shoe heavier. And so people were like, I don't understand this. They never sent me one. You know. All right, Justin says that Believe in the Run said Hoka is selling 100 pairs of the Tecton 2.5 at Western states. Oh, interesting. They only made just 100 pairs, huh? Calvin says, Koros, please, we want an AMOLED watch. And Koros says, bike computer. I like the use of the robot emoji there. Here's the thing. I love the AMOLED watches, but like I feel like Koros's big thing is like more battery than anyone ever asked for. You know what I mean? Like people talk to me about their Koros watches, and I've experienced the same thing. They're like, I think I charge this thing once a month. You know, I'm like, I don't know how often I charge mine, but it seems like it never needs to be charged, right? And I'm like, I could charge it a little bit, you know, you know what I mean? Like, I don't mind charging it a little bit. Like, how much effort are we making to make it the battery last that long? Is there a middle ground? That's kind of how I feel about it sometimes. But like that Koros bike computer, it has a solar panel on it too. So that, like, in theory, you could almost never need to have to charge it. You might charge it like once a season, I guess. I don't know. Weird. And Kevin says, I don't know. I sacrifice some battery to be more responsive, especially pace changes, as many criticize the Koros watches for. Maybe they intentionally leave that for the FootPod. I don't know if I'm supposed to tell you this, but my conversations with Koros, they've indicated that they do that intentionally. Because in theory, if you think about it, your arm is like, you know, moving around in space, right? So it has to figure out a way to kind of, and not that I think commercial grade GPS or consumer grade GPS can maybe pick up this little of a difference between my arm extended forward or backward behind me, But my understanding is that they said that they do it so that way your pace number isn't so jumpy, and so that it's not too responsive. So every watch has some sort of smoothing, just like your GPS track has some smoothing to it that the watch does, which is why like your run distance on your watch might be different between your watch and Strava, because Strava does its own smoothing. At least that's my understanding. Coros told me that they did it so that way that there's less, they prefer lag versus jumpiness. That's what they told me. Matt B says, I feel like Marty B, I'm sorry, I didn't see that right. Marty B says, I feel like I have to charge my Pace 3 more than everyone else. And I'm wondering what setting I need to change that is draining the battery. You could turn off like constant HR. That would be one that would do it. And I think do we still have to change the hertz for the GPS tracking? Is that still something I don't remember what I did to my Coros. I don't know. Jason Ram says, made it. LOL. What running watch do you think is the best? Also used as a smartwatch, texting, calls, etc. I would say none or Apple Watch. Unless you're completely in the Android ecosystem, which I would say Garmin maybe. I don't know if you can take calls on Garmin. You might have to do like a Samsung watch or like a Amazfit or something like that. But you can't do any of that stuff if you're Apple, unless if you're an iPhone, unless you're using an Apple Watch. That's my understanding too. It's all very much locked down. All right. Eric says box. Where's Elisa? Where is Elisa? Okay, let's get to the boxes. First one. This one, hopefully it's what I think it is and not what I'm afraid it is. Because this is a brand that I've been trying to get in touch with more. And no one ever responds to me. And then my manager was one day like, hey, do you want to review one of these shoes from this brand? I'm like, is someone over there talking to you? And I was like, no, I don't want to review that shoe because it's a stability shoe. But there is another shoe that I would love if they would send. That's the wrong box. We'll still get to the other shoe, but that's not the story that goes with this shoe. So let's see if we can get to it. By the way, guys, next week we're only going to have one live stream. Because next week I'm going to be in Eugene, or starting this weekend I'm going to be in Eugene. And by the way, if anyone else is going to be in Eugene on Saturday, I don't have full details yet, but there's going to be a group run on Saturday. So, what is this? I don't know what this is. I don't know if I can show this to you. Oh, this is not from that brand at all, but I think it is a similar, maybe it's a similar parent company. But this is a shoe. I'm pretty sure I can show you that. Let me look it up online first. Make sure. Man, I gave you all that backup for that all that story. And it's not even that shoe. I guess I'll get the Triumph 22 some other time. Okay. All right. This shoe looks like it's available on sale. Hold on. What color is this? Monument? Is the Monument colorway available? I don't know. This might be a new colorway. Wait, what? What is this? All right, let me just show it to you guys. I think this shoe I can show it to you guys. It's actually from Merrell. I got confused. But it's the Merrell Morphlight. Look at this thing. It's got Float Pro midsole foam. It's very gray. And it's a road shoe. I think it's a road shoe. Maybe it's a road to trail. I think it's a road to trail kind of shoe. Kind of right up my alley. Suits the kinds of trails that I have around me. What are we going to call this one? Is this Road to Trail? What do you guys think? Calvin says, man, you guys are mean. Calvin says, yep, it looks like a Merrill. And Eric says, that's been out for a long time. You're safe. I think that's what I thought too. But it's been out for so long that I'm like, oh, is this a new version or a new colorway? And Adam says, if they wanted embargo, they should put red tape on the box. I think that's a fair thing to say, but I know that for some brands, I think that they have a subcontractor that seeds shoes, or the PR agency seeds shoes, but even the PR agency could figure it out too. So, but anyway, Eric says, yep, it's a classic commuter shoe. Is that what this is for? Yeah, I'm looking at the website now to try and figure out some more about it. And it has like made for road to trail. Sticky rubber outsole, Float Pro midsole, and recycled materials. Okay. JC says it's leave it in the closet, earmarked for charity giveaway. We'll see. Here's the thing. I have Merrill trail like hiking shoes that I enjoy. I bought Merrill hiking shoes for the whole family. We all have matching hiking shoes, although now the kids have outgrown theirs, so we don't have all matching hiking shoes anymore. But we did at one point. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. I feel maybe this gets into the casual rotation, but I will give it a shot. Let's see. All right, we'll leave that over there because we're still gonna weigh it. You know, you guys did not like that one. Oh boy. All right, let's get to the next shoe. JC says Merrells are heavy. How is that one? I don't know. We'll see later on when we actually weigh it. But it feels, I would say, lighter than you would think for a Merrell. But I feel like it weighs about as much as it looks. You know what I mean? Some shoes are lighter than they look. Some are heavier than they look. All right, next shoe. This is a first for me. Something from Newton. I also think that this is available on the website. So I don't think this is under embargo, but it is the Newton CF1. Oh, look at this. Let's make sure there's no note saying about embargo in here. So I do appreciate this. They've included a spec sheet. Normally the tech sheets you're not supposed to share. But this is a fun trivia question. What is the trade name for the PIBA that's in this shoe? I bet you won't guess. Some Newton socks. Low cut for us old folks. A Newton koozie, which I appreciate that. And look at this. This is the greenest shoe I think we've ever had in the studio. The shoe feels a lot lighter than it looks. It's got 2 layers of Newtonium P. The foam is called Newtonium. It's a PIBA foam. There's a carbon plate in here. You can see it on the bottom. And it still has the Newton pod things that are kind of like on clouds, but these existed before on clouds. And so there's kind of motion that happens through these, kind of similar to on clouds. It's a little bit different, but I think that's the easiest way to kind of explain them for now. And it feels light. It smells almost like synthetic leather. Is that the smell that I'm getting? It smells like Dick's Sporting Goods. That's what it smells like. I guess that's just like a running shoe. That's just a shoe smell, I think. All right, we gotta get these papers out. All right, Grant says, is this brand super popular? I tried to pair with the weird 4-foot pod things and hated them. Changed my gait and stride, I feel like. I don't know. I feel like they were much more popular before the Vaporfly. I felt like before Vaporfly became a big thing, I felt like a lot of people ran and raced in the Newtons. Now, I don't think that there's anything about the Vaporfly necessarily that made people dislike Newtons. But I do feel like that was a turning point. And I don't know if there's something that happened with the business or something like that happened at that time or what, but I feel like that's it. Maybe you guys know it a little bit better. But I wonder if people are going to complain about the potential for dog poop getting in this. Interesting. Calvin says it would have been more fun or cooler if it was called a non-Newtonian fluid foam. Do you know what? Brooks, I don't know if they still consider it now that they've gone to the DNA Loft version 3, which has nitrogen in it. But and I've told this to you guys before, in the biography, I think it's an autobiography, the autobiography of the Brooks CEO, I forget his name, but I read his autobiography. He touts that Brooks shoes are great because they are non-Newtonian. And I was like a new black? Is what I thought. I don't know if they still consider their foams to be non-Newtonian or what. And Adam says Newton was the original big rocker brand. Doesn't look like a big rocker, but maybe that's because I'm looking at it with like 2024 eyes. It feels like this peep is very dense, but then squishy from the Charmin squeeze perspective. And I don't think I was supposed to pull that up, but Newton's latest equation, look at this. It says 7 water bottles equals shoes. So there's that. So there are recycled materials in this. The tongue is not that padded. I like it. It feels very lightweight. Upper looks like there's a little bit of structure back here, but I don't know. I think this we'll have to see if I like the Newtonium. It's called. It says Newtonium on the bottom. We'll see if I like the Newtonium. It says art 2 on the bottom here. I don't know what that means. Oh, it's that fourth. This whole system is called art. Then it's art 2. The carbon plate in here is forked, by the way. All right. Let's smell these marrows. This does not smell great. This smells like carpet in a convention center. You know what I mean? Like if you ever walk down a hallway, like at a work conference, and you're like, it smells clean, but harsh. That's what this smells like. Not great smell. Okay. Whoa, one more shoe. Calvin says, I saw a Hoka fan review the Vaporfly 3 and criticize the lacing system. I'm not sure what's so controversial about it. The off-center lacing? Yeah, I don't know. Is that what the problem was? Or was it the squirrel, like the squiggly lacing? I don't know. And Daniel says, wasn't Newton famous for 0-drop super low stack shoes? I don't remember. But someone said, yeah. Hagakura says, yeah, Newton did the 0-drop before it became a fad. Did they really? Is this a 0-drop? No, this is a 4mm drop. 34 in the back, 30 in the front. I'm going to keep an open mind on this one. Maybe it'll be really fun. All right, Johnny Dodgen says, is the last one from Hilo? Yes. The last shoe is from Hilo Athletics. So they reached out to me and asked if I would take a look at some of their shoes. And I said, sure, send it. Let's see. I wasn't sure if they were available for sale in the US, which is usually kind of like my barometer for trying out new shoes. I was like, did they sell in the US? I'm pretty sure they do. All right, it says run like the world depends on it. This is the Hilo Impact. And this is a brand that is trying to provide a more sustainable option. Okay. There's a lot of writing that was on that box, but the shipping label covered it all up. And there's a lot of stuff in here. And this is it. It looks unusual, I would say. Let's get some focus on that one. It's got a really big butt chin on the back. So big part that sticks out. And the overall sensation that I get from it is that it's kind of heavy. But it says their key phrase is "run like the world depends on it." It says it on the box. It says it here on the medial side of your foot. It says it here on the bottom of your foot. Sorry, that was upside down. It says it on the rubber outsole as well. So the foam is, I think, is the foam called Hyperbolt? I don't know too much about this brand yet. It's my first time experiencing it. There seems to be a moderate amount of puffiness on it. And guess what? On the insole, it says, you'll never guess, run like the world depends on it. So that's what they're talking about here. And yeah, it's in my favorite color, so I like that about it. And it's got lightning bolts all over it. It kind of makes it look like a kid's shoe, as much as I like lightning bolts. But I'm intrigued. I feel like the area right here on the forefoot, this could be really interesting. But we'll have to see how it goes. It smells like the cleaner that they use for the linens at a hotel. Again, kind of like an upholstery smell to it. Very breathable tongue. It's stretchy. And then once you get up into the shoe, this part is not that breathable. No, not at all. That does not smell good, that part. Okay. All right. Is anyone else running high-lows? Adam says, you know what? Spreadsheet time. And Fiona says it's going to be a good shoe for servers who have to wear black. I feel like this would be a nice alternative to the triple black Bondis. You know, rubber outsole, non-skid, all black. It's going to be a nice one. You know? All right. All right. Let me get, you got to get the spreadsheet ready. We're getting there. I'm getting faster at it, I feel like, you know. We got to make it bigger. And then let me share it with you guys so you can see it. Okay. Here we go. So we got the spreadsheet. I'm going to get the scale out. We got a lot. We got a lot here. Okay, zeroing out here. All right, let's start with the Merrill for today. Oh, that's lighter than I thought it would be. All right, what do we got here? We got Merrill. What is this shoe called? The Merrill something. More flight. We got size 0 miles on it. Right shoe, size 9, Road 2 trail. Then we got the Newton CF1, 0, right, 9, and then Road. And then we got the high-low Athletics Impact. 0, right, 9, and then we'll call this one Road. Okay. Ah, boy. Okay. All right. This Merrill shoe, I'm really impressed. 8.0 ounces and 288 grams. Is that right? 228 grams. That's light. That's lighter than a lot of shoes that we've been messing around with lately. Oh boy. Luis thought it'd be 10.5. I thought so too. I thought it'd be near 11. But yeah. Martha says that's really light. It is light. Sega Dreamcast said, whoa, Meryl. See, you guys were all knocking on the look before. Now you're like, I don't know. That look key looks kind of fire. Now that you know it's 8 ounces. All right. This is going to blow your guys' mind. I got to tell you what. All right. This shoe does not feel like it weighs that much. But also, I don't feel like it should weigh this much if you're going to make a carbon-plated racer. There's no way. It's doing it. It's for sure. All right. Okay. I think we can make this screen bigger. I don't know how to make it bigger. Here we go. Bigger. Now can you see it better? Okay. This Newton is coming in at 246 grams, and that's 8.6 ounces. That's heavy. That's heavy for a race shoe. That's Puma Fast R2 heavy. Although I love the Puma Fast R2. It's heavy though. But man. The Newton has extra gravity. Killing it. The Merrill is on Ozempic. All right. And Kevin says the 3 of these shoes together may sell fewer pairs in a single colorway of a Hoka or Saucony shoe. Probably. And Martha says, I used to have a Merrill slipper-like shoes, 0 drop for walking all the time. That sounds actually really nice. All right. Okay. Let's get to the high-low. Which do you... All right. Well, I'll ask that question after this. Oh, boy. Yeah, I told you guys this one was going to be heavy. But, yeah. There are certain points where you get over and you're just like, oh, that's a lot. So this one comes in at 10.7 ounces and 304 grams. Whew, that's a lot. That's a lot of weight for a shoe. I feel like is that too much? I feel like it's too much. Matt was pretty close, 10.2. I feel like once you get over like 10.4, 10.5, then I'm like, ooh, there better be a good reason for that. Unless it's a trail shoe. And that for trail shoes, it's like once you're at over like 11.25, then I'm like, why is it so big? Or the 300 gram mark, I feel like feels like a lot, you know. But yeah. All right. Let's get these sorted. And by sorting, I mean, let's not sort them, but let's put them in the right place. All right. 8.0 ounces. Ooh. It's lighter than the Magic Speed. Pretty close to the Endorphin Pro and the Adios Pro. But that Mach 6, Martha mentioned she'd been enjoying the Mach 6. That Mach 6 coming in at 7.6 ounces. Pretty light. Look at these shoes. The Vanish Carbon 2. I ran the Vanish Carbon 2 over the weekend. 7.6 ounces. That was fun. I like it. And then let's put this Newton in its place. 8.6 ounces. Puts it right above the Velocity Elite 2. Okay. So it's not terribly, but look what is its competition in this area. Do I have the weight of the Fast R? Oh no, we didn't weigh the Fast R2. I think the Fast R2 is like 8.4-ish ounces, maybe. But 8.6. That Newton CF1, a little bit lighter than the Velocity Elite 2. And yeah. As far as racing shoes go. About the same weight as the Wave Rebellion Flash 2 and the Adizero SL2. Which the Adizero SL2, it doesn't feel like it weighs that much, but I guess it does. All right. Let's get to the last one. Let's get that last one sorted out. High-low athletics impact. 10.7. Ooh. Right under the Under Armour Infinite Pro. Is it Infinite? Yeah, Infinite. Or is it Infinity? Infinite Pro. 304 grams. Ooh. I got a lot of shoes I gotta review here, guys. I gotta test. But yeah. See here, let's take this off the screen and let me show you this. So like when I look at the shoe like here, this high-low looks great, I think, right? Like this part of it looks like it could be really fun to run in. But then when I look at this back part, I'm like, what is happening here? Why does this look like this? It looks like maybe it inserts into something else, like it's a tab for inserting it into some sort of escape room puzzle. I don't know what's happening with this. Why is it like this? Because otherwise, I think that the styling is pretty good, but I'm not sure about this. But it's supposed to be really good for the environment. That's their model. Run like the world depends on it. You know what I mean? All right. Oh, okay. Brian Albrecht says, I'm heading to the Adidas employee store this week. What should I be looking for from Adidas for shoes? What's new from Adidas? The Adizero SL2 is a lot of fun. It's already pretty cheap, relatively speaking, at $130, but that's the latest new one that I would pick up. I feel like the Supernova Rise Prima, I haven't seen that one yet. I've seen other people have it. I don't have it. They haven't sent it to me. But that one could be interesting. Some people have said that the Supernova Rise doesn't have enough midsole foam, so that could solve that problem, you know. But yeah. And it says no need for ankle weights with this one. Yeah. It gets heavy. It gets heavy. Says it's heavy because it's carrying the sustainability of the industry. Yeah, you know what? I also tried, I didn't run in it, but I tried wearing the Solomon Index 03. That shoe's also on here. Where is it? Yeah, 9.1 ounces. So I tried wearing that over the weekend a couple of times casually, not just this weekend, over the last week. It's very firm and it doesn't feel like it fits underneath my foot correctly. So I'm not sure that I want to actually run in it. I might take it around the neighborhood just for like a little half mile, little loop, just to give it a sense of, is it worth testing further? But so far it's not worth testing further, but I think it looks great to wear around. I feel like it makes the right statement when you're going to take your kid to rock climbing practice. The high-low athletics maybe or may not make the same kind of statement. I don't know, but I will take a look further into what all high-low is doing in terms of their efforts to be more sustainable of an option. I would love it if one day, like, we weren't talking about how sustainable shoes were. We were only like negatively critiquing shoes for not being sustainable. I'd love it if it were the other way around. We're not, I don't know if we're there yet. Maybe this is it. I would love it if it were, you know? All right. I feel like that's going to be it for today, guys. I had a lot of fun unboxing these shoes. In terms of the smell test, I will say, oh, yeah, it goes high-low, Merrill, and then Newton. The Newton smells the worst. The high-low smells the least worst. I mean, we're smelling shoes here, even though they're new and they don't smell like feet yet. They never smell great, nor would you really want them. But that's the smell order for today. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Thursday, we're gonna have 40 here, and we're gonna have them play Name That Shoe. So that should be a lot of fun. Remember, it's really hot out there, guys. So take it easy on yourself in terms of pace and bring extra water, more water or fluids than you think you need. Stay safe out there. Try to run in off hours, not in the middle of the day when it's super hot. All right, guys, be safe out there. I'll see you guys Thursday. Oh yeah, by the way, tomorrow's video is going to be about the Magic Speed 4. All right, bye.